People say you never know what you have got until it's gone, till it's gone. And I thought I wanted freedom, but I know, yeah, I know now I was wrong. I was wrong. I know I let you down, let you down. I thought I wanted know when I'm around. I was trying to find a way to let my guard down. I guess I didn't know, but babe, I know now. I want you back. Whoa, I want you back. Whoa, I want you back. Whoa, I want you back. I want you, I want you, I want you back.
Well. If it isn't Thursday evening, welcome everyone to Power Thursdays. It's been a while, it's been a very long week. I hope everyone enjoyed the Easter long weekend. Yeah, so I have today Sbani and Lebo, the Power Ninjas. We're about to show you probably, or most definitely, our last Power Apps session because we're going to be moving towards something new, which is Power Automate. But bear with me, we are still going to come back to Power Apps when we are showing you how to actually use Power Apps and Power Automate and the other components of the Microsoft Power Platform together. Sbani and Lebo, welcome, guys.
Yo, how's it, man? Thank you for the great welcome, boy. I don't know where Lebo just went. Oh, he's
I'm
back.
here. I'm here, guys. You know the vibes. I'm here. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Tico, for the welcome.
Yeah,
it's great to be
it's
here.
been yeah, it's been quite a while, man. It's been quite a while.
It's only been a week, Tico. It's only been a week.
It really feels like it's been like too long. But anyways, who's counting?
True.
I miss them. I miss speaking about pirates.
Yeah, man. So
So
I think Spani should be the one to take it away since he's going to be doing the first part of the app.
yeah,
Spani, are you
it's
ready?
fine.
Yeah, give me a sec while I still log in.
Oh, so
Cool.
while he still does that, so our plan for today, it's not really much, Hopefully we can finish with the session within a few minutes, and we're not really robbing you guys. At the end of the day, it is Power Apps. It's a Microsoft Power Platform, and we're taking things easy. So the plan for today is to actually make an app, finally, instead of us showing you those components working separately, but we are showing you today how they work together and how you can make an app that has all the controls and the components that we've spoken about the past few weeks. So today we're making an expense tracker or an inventory management app. It depends on how you actually look at it. So we have Spani will be going on with the first part, and I can tell you this: it actually utilizes what we covered last week. One of the stuff that we covered last week, which is receipt processor. We're tracking our expenses at the end of the day, and we really want to know how we actually use our spendings each and every single day. Spani, are you good?
Yeah, just about now. Yeah,
Are you ready, my guy?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm signed in now. Thank you guys for the time. So just as Somile said that today we wrap up what we've been doing in Power Apps for the past, is it 4 or 5 weeks or so? So we're gonna pick up with the simple expense tracker app, and I'm pretty sure that whatever we did in the past few weeks is gonna be collaborated because it's gonna include functions, AI builder, and galleries. You know. So it's gonna be quite awesome. Hope people are gonna follow up, and we're gonna ask questions uh, regarding the previous shows. So let me share my screen so that I can be able to demonstrate today's program. I think everyone can see my screen, right?
It's loading. It's coming up now.
Okay. So we're not going to be doing so much today. We have such a very short show because we're going to be demonstrating a few of the features that we have done in the previous weeks. So here's the app that we're currently working on today. So a lot of you who were watching last week might be familiar now with the AI Builder, the pre-built environment, because last week we demonstrated 3 of them, which was a business card reader, the receipt reader, and the sentiment. So today in our app, we're going to be using the receipt reader because it has more efficiency, and since we're doing an expense tracker app, it will do the function or the feature in a more simpler way, in a more understanding way. While our app loads, no, okay. While our app loads, although it's taking time, yeah.
Yeah, what we're looking at today is not really, trying to focus on showing you how to drag and drop, because I mean, we've shown you this on our first session where we actually dragged and dropped some text boxes, and it's quite an easy task to do when you're doing it. So we have already put our text boxes and the other controls that we're going to need on the screen. But what we will show you is to how to use the functions or how to actually extract information from AI Builder in which and that's what Sibani is about to do today.
Yeah. So as Digo is saying, we didn't want to take much of your time today because we want to be more engaging, ask questions. You guys ask questions, we answer you. So what we're going to do here, since you said that you're doing an expense tracker, so it might be that you went to a shopping center, you went to ShopRite to buy something, but you had a limited budget, or you want to actually know how much you spend, and for that particular month, how much budget you're left off. So we're gonna use the receipt processor. Every time you have a receipt, we're gonna be able to scan your receipt and take out the details that you want, just as we did last week. So in order to kickstart this, you have to insert our AI builder, which is a receipt processor, on our screen so that our receipt can be able to be processed as you scan to select all the data that you need from it. So as we did last week, it was quite simple, and we made an example of which industries that can use receipt processors, especially for those drivers, taxi drivers, truck drivers. They will need these features in order for them to fully function or to fully produce an expenses trip according to what they use and what they really want to claim from their organization. So we're going to put our controller here, a receipt controller processor. And then now from these text boxes, we have to write functions. Our functions will have to call whatever data we need from the receipt. So in this case, as our text boxes say, that we need to have a merchant name. So in order for us to call this, we need to recite our receipt processor controller, which is receipt processor 1 dot. And once you say dot, you're gonna get all the options that are available in this AI builder. So in our case, we need to have the merchant name, because it's more ideal that every time when you're gonna do shopping and you want to know how much you spend at Spar, how much you spend at ShopRite, you must have a merchant name. Also for transaction date, it's the receipt processor dot. You need a date. On which date was I actually buying the things I'm scanning for? And you need the total. How much did I spend at that shop on that day? So you're gonna also call your receipt processor controller and say dot. You want your total. Here is your total. Yeah. So now, since today we're gonna be doing like a proper app, we need to save our stuff to the data. So again, we want things that are on a receipt processor in order for them to be viewed on a list box dot purchased items dot where is this thing dot name. So now all the things that are purchased that are on a till slip will be displayed here in a form of a list on this box. And then now we want prices for each of the items that are on the list. So we're gonna call our receipt processor dot purchased items dot price. Also after this, since you now have 3 list boxes here, on the third one it says quantity. You need to know for each item that I bought, how many of them did I buy? Take for instance, you went to ShopRite and you actually bought like 10 juices. So it has to say under juice, you bought this quantity and the price for it is this one. So we're gonna call our controller again, because the reason why you're calling our controller is because all our data is gonna be held by our controller. So it's purchased items dot quantity. You have that. And it's as simple as that. If I were to upload my receipt here, it will actually display all the info that I have on these boxes, the info that I needed. So we can go on and test this by having to upload one receipt and see if it works or not. Seems like I haven't downloaded my receipts. Give me a sec to download. Where is the receipt? There it is. Download. Save. Let's go back. Let us now upload our receipts. Downloads. And open. As it's scanning, you will see that it will capture the mentioned, the date and the total, and also display our purchase items with prices on the list boxes together with quantity. As you can see that our AI builder truly works, and we're gonna emphasize this. We are not using any code to write this. It's simple stuff that we are actually working on. You don't need to have any level of code in order to understand this. You need the logic and what you want to achieve on your app. So now, I think Lebo needs to get charge of this because he's good at functions. He's going to write our patch function on this one in order to save into our data source and to add in our inventory. Lebo, are you there, bro? Everyone left. Lebo. Seems like everyone is currently out.
Now they're back.
No, save the changes. Don't forget to
Yeah,
save the changes.
I want to save the
You almost
changes.
forgot.
Okay, let us save. Let me put a note if she's optional. AI builder added, and then you save. Yeah, thank you. I think this will be all for me for now. We'll be back after the guys have done their parts on the StreamYard. So I must stop sharing here. Yeah, I think what we covered here was what we did last week, which is AI Builder pre-built, which was building up to a modeled or a trained AI, which I did the other week. So it's as you can see, guys, we are actually putting these things together in one app, which tell us that whatever we've learned previously, we can actually collaborate it or put it together in such an easy step or in easy way that does not require people to actually know code in order to have data, in order to create Power Apps or get their data from somewhere else. So Lebo, over to you, bro.
Can you guys see my screen? Is it on the show?
Not yet.
It's not showing as of yet. Probably it's gonna show up now.
Is it showing?
While we're still waiting for it because it's not showing. I'm seeing on the chat and someone is like, it's that easy to make receipts. We're not making receipts, just know we're not
It's a
making
receipt
receipts.
reader. Yo, yeah.
But we are reading the information from the receipt, and then we are going to store it into our data source, or you can say database if you want to.
Okay. Since we're done with the receipt reader, we need to do the next thing, right? Can anyone in the chat please try and tell me what is the next function? If you wanted to save the red information to a SharePoint list, what function should I use? Because I'm just asking because I'd like to know since you already did this before. Can anyone in the chat please tell me that much? Can they just guess what function that we need to use to save data to the SharePoint list while we wait for this to load? And since I can't see the screen and who said anything, can Tico tell me if we already have an answer?
Don't worry, I'm waiting for it. I'm actually waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting for them. Yeah.
Hopefully they can answer. Please, guys, don't disappoint me. I mean, we've been explaining this for the past few weeks. You know, so they can actually, yeah, they can actually put it in the comments. But anyway, since there's no response,
there's no answer. That's fine. So the function that we'll be using is called the patch function, and that is the function that lets us store the recorded data to our SharePoint list. And so what we need to do is we'd first call the patch function, patch, and then you write your SharePoint list name, comma, defaults, yes. And then your SharePoint list name again. And I think when you're this far, you close it, comma. And then now you have to sort of list the fields that you'll be taking from. Like for example, what you'd like to do here is you write title, right? This is title is the name of the column from the SharePoint list. Diego, can you please, since I can't go back and forth from the SharePoint list to the app, can you please list the column titles for me?
Okay, so
okay, let me first write this. Give me a second. We want the title, right? So what we're going to do is we'd have to find out what this is saved as. It's saved as text box input 3 point. Yeah. So I take that, I go back to my button, right? And I just put it in right there, right? Just like that. Very simple. And then you have to specify what this is. It's a text. It's a text. Yeah, it's a text like that. And then you close it, comma, open again. Duke, can you tell me the next one, please?
It's transaction date.
Transaction
Supposed
date.
to pop up. There it is.
And then just do the same thing that I did. You copy. For accuracy purposes, I'm just going to do this. And then you paste. And then you specify that it's a text. You close it. You just keep doing this because you're trying to get the data. You're trying to get the data from those forms or those fields. Yeah. And the next one is you open it. I think the next one is total, right? Because it's written, it's right here. So I'm guessing it's total.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll just take total. Go back to total. You'll get the gist of things, like the way I'm doing this, right?
Chairman, I don't know if you're able to zoom in your screen, like your entire screen, because someone in the chat is saying that they can't see clearly, the font is too small.
Okay, the entire screen.
Yeah. Don't zoom in too much, but you can try. I think I've tried it before, I think as well.
Because I'm not trying to zoom in the app, I'm trying to zoom in the screen.
Yeah. I don't know if they can see now. Yeah, probably. Can someone in the chat see? Can you guys see? Because it looks clear to me.
But now everything looks like a bit of a mess. Okay, let me try and... Yeah, because I'm using my laptop, so the screen is a bit tiny. But yeah, it doesn't matter. For our viewers, I'll do anything. But you guys get the gist of things, nah? So I'll just copy and paste this. And then put text. And that's... You close it. And then you close. Don't forget to close the entire patch function because we had a bracket at the top, right? So we have to close it up. And then that's about it. Okay, no, actually it's not about it. You still have this to put. So what we'll do is we put a comma, you open it as per se, and then the thing is I can't see much now because the screen is tiny and I zoomed it in. So we want purchased items. So I'm guessing in the SharePoint list, is it named as items? Tico. Hello. They're probably.
Let me double check for you. Don't worry. I got you. I'm here. It's items. The name of the column is items.
So yeah, this right here, nah, it's not the same as the others. It's called it's called the Lex box, right? And what it works like what's this? What's this thing? I'm forgetting.
Drop down.
A drop down, yeah. It works like a drop down. So yeah, it works like a drop down. So you can't just put one thing. You just have it takes more than one input, right? So yeah, what you'll do is you'll write drop down. Okay, wait. My bad. I'm saying drop down now. You take the Lex box.
To attach to a drop down list, eh?
Yeah. So it's a drop down. Yo, it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, like I said, you two attached to drop down. It's list box.
Thank you. It's Lex box. You take Lex box 2. Nah. Dot selected item. Selected items. And that's it. Right. You close. Your brackets. Open. My bad. Less items. Wait. What am I doing now? Selected items, yeah. How so?
The joys of doing a live demo.
Yeah, man. It's messing me up now. It's messing me up. I don't know why.
Okay.
No,
I think if I double check, try to change it to selected items text instead of just selected items. We'll see if it's gonna.
give me a second, bro. I'm confused now because this is supposed to be working. Selected items text.
Yeah.
How? Okay. Okay. This is acting up for me, bro. This is acting up. Hopefully it works because that's not how I did it before. So yeah, we do the same thing. It's still the patch function. Now we're just putting inventory stuff, right? So we do the same thing with inventory. We call in the patch function. We open it like we did in expenses. You call in your SharePoint list, comma, default. I'm not really explaining much because I already explained already. So I'm just gonna do it real quick. Inventory bottom. And then inventory. And then you close it, comma. And then you call in the fields that you will need for the inventory. The first one is title. And then you know, the zooming in the screen has made things a bit too messy for me, honestly. So I can't really see my screen right. Can I just put it back, guys? Please.
Yeah, you can. You can. I think you can because it's rather a similar thing that you did in the previous exam.
So I'm just gonna put it back to 100 and vibe with it because things were a bit too messy for me. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it the way y'all want me to do it. My apologies. So I'm just gonna put these things in because I already explained it already. And yeah, I'm just gonna say list box 2 dot selected item. Let me try selected item again. Maybe it'll work this time. You never know. Dot name. It closed. Okay, wait. What if my how? This has no reason not to work. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, of course it's not gonna work now because it's missing some stuff. So we'll just put in the stuff that's missing. And the next one is quantity. Quantity, hello. Yeah. Quantity. And then we put the list box. Listbox 2.1. 2.1. Yeah. Listbox 2.2. Dot selected items text. I don't like the selected items text because I didn't use this before. I don't understand why this one is working. But let's move on. Let's move on. And then quantity. You see now, guys, that we're matching the stuff. We're matching the stuff that we're taking, right? It's quantity and it's quantity. So we're doing that with everything that we're adding here on the patch function. I hope I'm not taking too much of your time, Deco. Are we still good on time?
No, don't worry. Don't worry about it. We're still good. But there's a question on the chat. They asking if can't we rename the list boxes and text boxes instead of them being text box 1, list box 3, etc. Well, we can.
We can obviously, but it's tedious stuff, and we care about that, if it works, because it's just a demo right now. It's not, stuff. If it was an app that's gonna get into real use, we'd actually care about those tiny minor things. But since we're just doing a demo, we're just using whatever. We're not really minding those tiny bits of the part of making the app. I don't know if that makes sense. Does it, Digo?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but you can. I should have just said you can. I shouldn't say all that. Yeah. So you put list box. It was listbox 2, listbox 2.2. So I'm guessing it's listbox 2.1 now. And then selected items dot item text, I guess.
No, I think this one would be different, where we can say listbox 2.1 dot selected and then dot the quantity or dot the name.
Dot selected.
Yeah, dot selected dot quantity if you do quantity, dot name if you're doing the other one.
There we go.
For our confused viewer there, thank you so much, and we really need to consider that, because we have to rename them and put them as proper names or for our controls, because sometimes it does get confusing. And even if you're building an app, let's say you're building an app with 20 screens and you have text box 100 or text box 2000 or something like that, and you don't know which one is it, and then you might end up taking the wrong information and sending it to the wrong data source or to the wrong database. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this selected items thing it's giving me another problem, right? So I tried to remove it, and it's giving me problems. It's giving more problems.
No, that one is gonna be it's listbox 2.2 dot selected dot quantity.
Let me just remove the selected. How about Mazor? Kunin is so well. Kunin is so well. Hey, wo.
Abasha boy.
Abasha ha. No worries, bro. I don't understand why that was giving me a problem so suddenly, because it wasn't giving me a problem before. But that's about it. I'm gonna just hand it over to Deco. Deco will run the entire app when it's done, and then send it to the SharePoint list, and then there we can check if the data actually saved or not. Yeah, because I don't want to run the app now because we're not done with everything. So yeah, that's just my part. It's just a patch function, and that's about it. I think I explained it quite well. I'm pleased with myself, if I may say. Yeah. Deco, it's your time to shine, my guy. Take the stage.
Thanks, Chairman. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
But remember, you have to actually close that tab so that it doesn't give me a
Mm,
problem when I try to
mm.
open the app.
Yeah,
So
it's
close the
saved.
tab, man.
I don't need to save
Did
anything.
did you save
It's
it?
saved. It's also saved, Dico. Look at this.
Try
Dico, come on.
again. You have
Come
to
on,
do it
Dico.
again just to make sure. You never know, hey, things happen.
Uh, Dico, change your ways.
I'm sure Microsoft is looking at me right now and they're like,
Bro. Yeah. Because autosave isn't like it's literally in the environment. So as soon as you type something, it saves it automatically. So that's why you don't need to save. We're not
yeah,
publishing Jack, so I'm gonna just leave the environment for now. I'll just
please
close the
do.
tab.
Please
I
do.
close the tab.
Thanks. Let me share my screen.
We're
So
good to
I
go, good
don't,
to go, Dico.
yeah, so I'm not really doing much today. Or on my side, I'm not really doing a lot. I don't know if you guys can see my screen or what's going on. Are you
Dico,
guys seeing?
Dico, can I answer? Yolanda has a question in the chat. So can I just answer that real quick?
Yeah.
Yolanda's question was, can you display the question, our host, please, if you don't mind?
What is the question?
It's which one of the text box 1 and which one is text is list box 3? Please cater for that. Yo, I'll have to go back to the app. You know what, Dico cater for that because I
Oh,
can't go back to the app. Yeah.
yeah, no, I already asked that question. Don't worry about it. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I'm waiting for my screen to pop up so I
Yeah,
can carry on. You guys can see my screen. You can
No,
see
not yet.
many
we can
multiple.
see you.
You can see me,
Not,
but you can't
yeah.
see my screen. I don't know.
Is it not sharing?
But
It's not.
yeah, I did. But let me try again. Share screen. Technology. It happens.
I, I just can't believe the selected items was doing me like that live. I,
No, it
I don't
doesn't really.
understand.
Even in
Yeah,
code, it does something like that.
I don't understand, bro. I don't get it.
Even
Yeah,
in code.
anyways, there we go. We can see your screen. It's loading.
Yay! Look at me. I can one, two, three, four.
Yo,
I don't know, 5 times. Yeah. Okay. I'm done clouding. So sorry about that. Yeah. So where is this app? There it is. So let me just quickly open it up. Okay. Before I carry on with opening it up, I don't want you guys to say, "Oh, I'm confused. What happened?"
oh,
The
Dico.
not
Where
so
is Tico
root.
now?
Oh,
Who you
did you
shocked me,
guys?
Dico? I thought.
What happened? So I don't want you guys to be like, this is not the normal route that you guys took. This is different. Why did you guys come up with an app that's already created? We actually did not skip any steps. It's the same steps that we actually usually used. Whenever we come onto the Power Apps environment, we get into the Power App Studio, we click on Canvas app from blank, and then when it's Canvas app from blank, it actually shows us which format of screen that we want to use. Is it phone or tablet? And then we did that. So I don't want you guys saying that we skipped some steps. We did that because we already know that you guys got the hang of it. We want you guys to see an app that already uses the important parts that we showed you over the past few weeks. Okay, so let me just get right into it where I can actually edit the app that Smani and the glorious chairman actually worked on just earlier on. Hopefully chairman has closed that tab, because I know when you're a programmer or you work in tech, it's actually important for you to not close your tabs, because you always want to go back and look at what you were learning about and stuff. So again, with today's session, we are looking at a small, simple expense tracking app and an inventory tracking app. where we are trying to show you guys how to let me skip that. So trying to show you guys how to, instead of having a receipt and putting in your pocket and then you were like, what happened to the paper, and you can't keep track of what you actually spend on, we are trying to show you that you can actually go buy something. Once you've bought something, you come back and you can scan the paper and everything will be awesome and jojo, if I can actually use those terms. So you scan the receipt, it extracts information, it puts it in those controls that you see on the screen, and then we can be able to save it to our data sources, right? So that's awesome. So I want to double check something before I do my part, in which I hope Chairman did it. So I'm going to click on this button that Chairman was working on, and I'm going to double check something. So it's not put there. So why am I looking for something? It's because on our app, in our screens, right? We have screen 1 where we didn't rename it. We have a screen where we allow our user to actually put a budgeted amount. So for an example, you go to, let's say tomorrow I'm waking up and I need to go to the supermarket, or I need to go to ShopRite or Spar or Pick and Pay. I need to know how much money do I want to spend on that day, or how much money am I actually budgeting. So that's the whole point of this text box that you see on the screen, where you can say what's today's budget, and then you can put in the information. So I want to take the information that comes into this control or text box or text input, and then we can be able to send it to our SharePoint, and it can do something very cool. Hopefully you guys find it cool, because I think it's cool. So let's go back to our original screen where I clicked on the button Chairman was working on. We back here. We go to add to expenses. We just add one part in which I think Chairman forgot. Here on our patch function, we just say comma, we say budgeted, which is one of our columns in our SharePoint list. We say budgeted, and then we say text input 1 dot text, because we want to take the text in that is put into that text input, and then we close our curly brackets, right? And then that's it. That's all I wanted to add. So I go back to my part, screen 5, in which we were supposed to rename it. Oh no, we have errors on the screen. Let me zoom this a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see it properly. We have errors on the screen. We have X's and what's going on. So we have a screen already that would allow us to pull in information from our SharePoint, from our data source. How do you add that screen? You go to new screen, right? You click on the option list. That's how you do it. We didn't want to bother you again by going through the same process that you guys have seen before. So let me do my part instead of saying all this garbage. So I have to click on the screen. Right now, the screen's items, because I want to see a list of what's in my expenses table, or what's in my expenses SharePoint list. So if you're looking at my screen, it's already, I have a title called expenses. So I want to look at the expenses list. So I want to see the transaction date, the budgeted amount, and the amount spent on that specific day, because it has to show me that specific date, that specific amount that I budgeted, like for tomorrow, say I want to spend 100 rands, and also the amount I actually spent. Did I go over budget, or did I spend like 50% of the budget? So let me zoom out a little bit. So for me to add a data source, or for this screen to be able to pull information from our SharePoint list, I can either go to the, I don't know which side is this on your screen, but on my side, it's the right-hand side of the screen on the properties tab, where I can choose and select the data source. So right now it's saying it's none, or I can go at the top of my screen where it shows FX. So FX is usually the formulas for Power Apps, in which you're also familiar with Excel as well. So I'm going to use the FX part. The FX part normally speaks to if you already know your SharePoint list by heart, or if you already know your other SharePoint list by heart, if you know its name and you already connected it. If you haven't connected your SharePoint list, you have to go to the left-hand side of the screen. There's that cylinder that I'm hovering over. It says data. Once you click on it, it will ask you to add data if your SharePoint list is not showing here. And then you can click on add data, and then you can go to your SharePoint site, and then you can select that SharePoint list. That's how we did it, and that's how our SharePoint lists are showing up here. So I'm not going to go through the process over and over again. So let's get back here. I want this screen to reference my SharePoint list. So what do I do? Which SharePoint list do I want? I want the expenses SharePoint list. So I am going to say expenses because I named it expenses. I say expenses. And then with that, as I give Power Apps to reload, it shows me what information is in the expenses table or SharePoint list, whichever way you call it. So for the transaction date, this is the name, well, firstly, this is the name of the store that I went to. Not really though. Goodwill Industries. And then the transaction date was 2011 on the 26th of January. And also I budgeted 20 rands and then I spent 14 rands. You know, it shows me that information. But Someleza, you said you're going to show us something cool. Yes, I just wanted to show you guys this part where I can be able to take the information from my SharePoint list and display it on my app. If I quickly run this, this is how it looks. Hopefully you guys can see it properly. I did some things there and made it look nice by changing the color, showed you guys. It's the same way that you do it on your Word document when you change colors of your text. So I'm not going to go through that. And mind you, I already had dragged and dropped labels. These are labels. What you're seeing on the screen is called a label. This is a label. This is another label. But that label, it says this item.transaction date. So this item.transaction date comes from our overall SharePoint list or data source, which is expenses. So if I click the overall list or the overall screen, it will show me the items that come from the expenses SharePoint list. Okay, stop jibber jabbering, Someleze. Let's do this small magic thing that you said you're going to do. I'm just going to add a label again. So I'm going to quickly add a label in which I will just put it here and I will make it this big. I'll change the font size to be 17. Hopefully that's not too big. Yeah. And then on the text part, that's the default value. It says text. And if you're looking here, it says text. So what text do you want to show on that label? So I want to show, because it's our expenses, or we are trying to track our expenses, what we're trying to do now, I want to show the amount that I have available to me based on the total amount of the budgeted amount and the total amount of the money that I've spent on the data that you see on the screen, right? So I'm just going to change this and say available funds, right? And then string concatenation or putting together text if you're not familiar with the phrase string concatenation. Putting together text in Power Apps, what do? We use the ampersand sign or and, because I usually call it and. So what do I want to show? I want to do a certain calculation. So it's going to be the difference between the budgeted amount and the amount spent. So how do I do that? Firstly, I have to convert that to be text. I want to show a text. So I convert it and I do this. The way to convert values or certain stuff on your app use to a text, you have to use the text function. So I used text. And then I want to see the difference between the total budgeted amount, not a specific budgeted amount for a specific day, but the total of the entire budgeted amount, and also the total of the difference between the total budgeted amount and the difference between also with the total amount spent, right? Hopefully that's understandable. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to say sum because I want to get the total budgeted amount first. So I'm going to say sum, not sun. It's dark. There's no sun today. Sum, and then I open my brackets. It's still another function called sum, in which it's self-explanatory, in which it gives you the sum of two values. Then I'm going to say sum, and I'm going to call upon our gallery, or yes, our gallery list on our screen. Currently, it's named as template gallery list 1. So I'm going through that. I apologize, Yolanda. I know we spoke about this like just a few moments ago. I apologize about this. Next time, we'll name it properly. So I'm going to call upon my template gallery list because that's where I can be able to access the budgeted amount. And then I will say dot all items. What does all items do? It calls all of the items in that gallery if you have to specify a certain column. So I'm about to specify, I want all items, but specifically in the budgeted column. So it'll give me the sum of the budgeted column, which is we have 20, so it's 40. But that is not what I want. I want available funds, and the available funds are based on the difference between the budgeted amount and the difference between the amount spent. So I will say minus some maths, some basic maths. And then again, I'll call on the sum function. Again, I call upon my gallery list, or my gallery, which is template gallery list 1. And then I say all items again, because I want all items within that gallery, but now specifically no longer its budgeted amount, but its amount spent. So I say comma because we want the sum. For you to do the sum in Power Apps using the sum function, you don't say sum, then in brackets you say that control or that value plus this value. You just put the values and you separate them with a comma, and then the function itself will do the addition for you. So I want total because I named it as total, not amount spent. And then that's it. It says available funds are 11 rands 58 cents. So it was 40 because it combined those two, minus I think this is 28 rands 42 cents. And then it gave us 11 rands 58 cents. So let me just quickly make it bold. Maybe it's visible. And I quickly run our app. Now it shows me that the available funds I have based on the total budgeted amount minus the total amount spent, I have 11 rands 58 cents, right? That's it. That's how you can be able to track your expenses, because you can have a budgeted amount for a specific day and you spend a certain amount of that budget. And then now you want to track, oh, within 7 days, how much money have I spent? Or how much money do I still have based on the budget amount had for the entire week, right? So that would be it for this. And then I can quickly go back to screen 1 so that you can see the entire app now. So if I go back to screen 1 and I click on proceed, you can see that there's a certain function that we called when you looked at on select. What does that do? It says that on select, when the button is selected, we use the navigate function, which is navigate. Where are we navigating to? We are navigating to screen 4. And then you can put the screen transition, whichever one you like, whether it's fade or whether it's cover. It makes the app look nice, right? Okay, that's it. We are done. But to run the app properly, let me just show you this. And I come back to my screen 4. And then when a person clicks on add to expenses, and then this information will be added to, using this patch function, will be added to our SharePoint list. Afterwards, what do we want it to do? We want it to navigate to the list screen where it shows all of the expenses. So what do? We'll say navigate using the navigate function, navigate to the target screen, which is screen 5, if I'm not mistaken. Screen 5. And then I put my screen transition to cover, and then I close that, and then that's fine, right? That's totally awesome. Okay, let me go back to screen 1 and run this app. So it says, welcome, what's today's budget? I'm budgeting 100 rands, and I click on proceed, right? And then here, I'd be tempted to say merchant name, and then I put the name and say Someleze, or put the transaction date, or I change the total. But we have our friendly component on the side, which is the receipt processor. So we can click on scan receipt, right? Because we don't want to manually input our information into the app. It defeats the purpose of artificial intelligence, also defeats the purpose of efficiency. So it's gonna cause you a lot of time doing that if you're running a business. You know, all of my hustlers out there, hello. And then I click on the receipt that I want to scan, which is this one. It's gonna show you the same information. I just don't have another receipt downloaded. I'm so sorry about that. This is the receipt I want to scan. And then the moment I'm uploading it, like Sbani said, it scans the receipt, it looks for the information within the receipt, and then after scanning that receipt, it will populate our fields here. Oh my God, magic, dark magic. So we have Goodwill Industries as our merchant name and the transaction date and everything and the total. Here's the fun part. You saw the page functions that Lebo did. He did for 2 buttons, right? He did for add to expenses. He did for add to inventory. So I'm going to start off with adding to my inventory. Let's say I'm a person who is, I don't know, what do you use textiles for or accessories, whatever. So I'm a person who's running a business and I need these new products, right? But now I don't want to go to the shop and buy that. And then once I've bought it, I have a website or maybe I have an app or a system. Now, since I have those things, I have to count them, how many they are. And then afterwards, I have to go to my system and pull it down from production. I'm sorry if I'm using the big tech words, and pull it down from where the users are using it or the customers are using it. And now I have to add in the new products that I bought. I don't want to do that. I need something that will just, when I bought the items themselves or the products, I have to just scan the receipt and then take the information from the receipt, upload it to my SharePoint, and then it's easily available to people. So that's what I want to do, right? So what I can do right here, because I'm adding it to my inventory, I need WT textiles and I need its price. What is the price of WT textiles? It's 169 cents for some odd reason. And then how many did we buy? We bought 7, right? And then I add this to my inventory, and then it's added to my inventory. And then afterwards, since I've added stuff to my inventory, now I want to know, oh, okay, since there's everything in the inventory, my expenses based on these things that I bought, how are they looking? So I need to add this to my expenses list as well, so that I can keep track of how much I am spending on these products, right? So I'll have to add in this one as well, in which I can select it, which is accessories and its price and its quantity. If I wanted to, I can say I am adding just the textiles only, but I didn't just buy the textiles only. So I have to put them up together so that it can show that on this day, I bought 2 items or 2 products. And those 2 products, right, each cost this much, and I bought it for each this quantity. That's for expenses. For inventory, you have to add them separately. Why? Because it doesn't make sense to say, okay, I have an inventory of apples, for an example, and then I went to the shop and I bought apples and bananas. And then afterwards, I'm saying I'm using this app that we have here to add to my inventory. And then on this purchased items, it shows apples and shows bananas, and I select both of them, and then I add it to my inventory. And then when my customers are looking at the information from my app or my web application, they see that, oh, there's a product named apples and bananas. Oh my God, how weird. Doesn't make sense. So you have to add them separately for inventory, and you can add them together for your expenses. So let me quickly add those to my expenses, and then it'll go. And then you see it updates there. Magic. Available funds are 97 rands 37 cents, right? So if I look at this is the new information that we added to our expenses, which is the budgeted amount for tomorrow, since I might be going outside, was 100 rands, and then I think I will spend 14 rands and 21 cents because I'm using the same receipt, so it will show you almost the same amount spent or the same total, right? But it also updates our available funds. And yeah, that's it. I would rather add another screen that will show us the list of items that are in our inventory, but it's just going to take us time. But I can just show you into in the SharePoint list that it actually added them into the SharePoint list. Yeah.
I don't think you have to show the SharePoint list because the display screen shows what's in the SharePoint list, so it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, no, I don't wanna be adding another screen because of time. Whereas in SharePoint, it shows that, oh, this was added. If you're looking at my screen right now, oh, this was added, and this is how much quantity it was there, and this is how much it cost. Again, the biggest advantage of this, instead of you having to remember, oh, I bought bananas and I bought apples and they costed me 10 rands, or maybe you bought like things in bulk. Now you can't remember the prices separately. So now you trying to put, like, you want to double the amount, but you don't know how much it costs, and now it's giving you a headache. This way you can just scan it, and then it's added to your SharePoint list, and then you can decide, like, oh, okay, for my users or for my customers, I've doubled the amount that I bought this with, and then it's there. Then that's fine.
And there was a comment there which says, "Kanti, there are bugs even on local." Catch a comment on that. They said
there are what?
Bugs.
It wasn't a bug. It wasn't a bug.
Where? What bugs? There's no bugs.
It wasn't a bug. It was just me acting weird. Yeah, but I sorted it out real quick. Anyways, I didn't put the budgeted thingy, the budgeted amount, because it wasn't on that screen, so I didn't see it. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Thanks, Chairman, for bringing this up. I'm so sorry for the host for us taking so much time. So that's the thing, right? It wasn't on the screen, and that's the nice thing about Power Apps. It wasn't on the screen, but if we're looking at the screen right now, it says 100. Do you remember 100? Where do we remember 100 from? From a different screen,
the first
right?
The first screen, yeah.
Yeah. So it took that value from the first screen, and then it uploaded it to SharePoint, same time as it was uploading the rest of the information.
Yeah. Also,
a cheat sheet, if you ask me.
Yeah, we didn't add our components because we were using not that many screens. There were just a few screens, so it wouldn't like, it wasn't necessary. That's why we didn't add components.
Yeah. So that would be it. That would be it for today. So I want to look back at what we were talking about. I'm so sorry, our host. We covered data sources, which is SharePoint. We're able to store information to SharePoint. We're able to display information. Yes, we're able to display information from SharePoint. We used a data source. That was, like, I think, our first section. And then afterwards, we used a patch function, a text function, a sum function to do all of the functions that we wanted to do in our app, in which that was our second, I think that was the second session. And then we used AI Builder, in which that was the previous 2 weeks that we've had with AI Builder. So that's everything in a nutshell used in an app. So you guys can actually be able to build your own apps using the information that is shared thus far. And also this, yeah, Chairman.
It took us an hour to use all that stuff. So that's how simple things are with Power Apps. It just takes a short while. So that's all I
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
before we waste any more time before I get killed, one more thing I want to mention is that what we're having right now is our last session, like I mentioned before, last session for Power Apps, and then in the coming weeks we are going to be looking at Power Automate, in which it's also part of the Microsoft Power Platform. And you guys are going to see flows in which probably that's where we actually add in logic for the developers out there that like logic. We add in logic with Power Automate. So you haven't seen The Last of Us. It's just The Last of Power Apps for now, because we are still going to use Power Apps and Power Automate together once we've entered into that territory. Yeah, that's it from me, guys. Care to share a few words, Chairman and Smani?
I just
Yeah.
forgot. I was thinking of something, and
What are you
I'm glad.
thinking?
I'm glad. I don't start. Don't start. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah,
You're
but yeah,
thinking of me.
yeah. Oh yeah. I just wanted to say that I hope you can see the direction that we take with our pattern and the flow of our sessions. We sort of teach that specific part of the Power Platform, and then we summarize everything we've taught into that last session. So that's just that's something you should take note of. So what I'm saying is, at some point, we might incorporate everything, like every single thing that we've taught that pertains to the Power Platform, into one huge app, and that's probably not going to take an hour. And I'm surprised that this took 1 hour. Like, this is the first time we've actually used up 1 hour, not 1.5 hours. Yeah. Usually it takes longer than it does. Spani, that's it for me.
Yeah, man. So, guys, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe also. We'll be having more sessions and more shows. And tomorrow, you guys, it's Azure Fridays with Tori. And our special guest, who should be displayed right after we finish here. So, ciao.
We have a special guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Arigato gozaimasu.
In Korean, it's kamsamida. Oh, come on.
You're flexing now, eh?
Nah, you're the only one that doesn't learn other languages here, except coding.
Nah.
Yeah.
I guess they're still keeping us here. So yeah, tomorrow Azure Fridays with Tori. It's gonna be awesome. Trust me, you don't. And we have a
always
special.
awesome.
It's his name is Tabo, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, hopefully
Tabo.
we'll see him. Yeah. I
I'll
think
do
it's
that.
mobile. It's gonna be mobile development with Azure. I don't know, unless I'm jinxing it before the host kills me. No.
Yeah. Anyways,
She's
who
gonna
made
come
this
here
thing?
and say she's gonna come here and say Choto Mate, Tico, Choto Mate.
Oh, it's a special guest. It's Tabo. I can't pronounce his name. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador as well, and he is bringing in some awesome, new, fresh stuff as well. So, yay!
Oh, Abashra, thank you for that comment. Whoever you are, thank you. Oh yeah, they're creating a chat room app with Azure SQL. Cool.
That's really awesome.
Yo, our
That's
hosts
really
are keeping us on today, nah?
Yeah, it's very nice. You know, they can just look at us. You know, that's
Yeah, we can have a sort of mini discussion here. Usually, I don't talk a lot in the sessions anymore. Yeah, I decided today I'll just take it easy and just do the work and not clown too much. Yeah.
Because you've been clowning, yeah? You've been clowning.
I've been clowning, but I feel like yeah, I feel like I should take it easy and give out content, more content. Wanna feed you guys more content. Yeah, that's the plan. But I just like teaching tech in a fun way. You know, it doesn't have to be all serious and all that dog gloomy
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
before you know it, we know how to make a power app, and the entire session we were just clowning. So how?
Oh, Yolanda. Thanks to our host.